Now, it's an institution that we quite literally couldn't live without. Treating more than 1 million people every day, you'd be hard-pressed to find a single person in Britain whose life hasn't been touched by the NHS. And that legacy began 75 years ago tomorrow. So take a look at some of these pictures we dug out. From the very day the NHS was born, July 5th, 1948, just as the UK, of course, was emerging from the Second World War, the first universal healthcare system began, providing care to all for free. Well, to mark the anniversary's eve, our correspondent Peter Lane has spent the day with 3 people who have dedicated their life to the service, and they've given us a snapshot, if you like, of how they're feeling on this very special week.
Hi, I'm Matthew O'Gorman. I'm a porter at Royal Bolton Hospital and I've worked here for 5 years.
I'm Alan Bowman. I've been a volunteer at Bolton Hospital for the last 5 years.
My name is Dr. Emil Morgan. I'm a consultant physician specialising in HIV and sexual health, and I have been working in the NHS for 50 years today.
Marking his own 50th year with the NHS, it's very much a time to reflect for Emil.
Okay, so when was you last tested?
Not least on the decades of progress in supporting people with HIV.
To actually see in my lifetime a disease that has actually moved from a death sentence to be able to live a normal lifestyle and actually get equal years like everybody else, it's unbelievable. I always said that the NHS really, it's like a person. Need to be fed, need to be looked after, need to continue in a healthy way to be able to perform its job as it should be. And I hope to God that this will continue forever.
It's out the first floor, if you only use these stairs.
Outside the hospital, meeting and greeting is Alan, one of more than 200 all-important volunteers here.
Well, I've had 2 knee operations, replacement knees, hip replacement many years ago, and I was treated very well. If I can give something back, then it's a way of saying thank you.
What is the secret to keeping the NHS going?
Secret? Everybody to back it, even the government, if I dare say that. Everybody to believe in it, that it's here and we want to keep it.
So how long have you been in hospital for, mate?
And Matthew keeps the wheels of the hospital moving, which keeps him feeling rewarded.
Being part of the NHS, you feel important, you feel like you're making a difference to people. Even as a porter, you feel better about yourself, you feel like you're doing some good in the world. That's how I've always seen it anyway. I've just always seen it as I'm doing something to help somebody else. I think it's incredible that we've reached 75 years, but you can reach 100 years, you could reach 175. The number keeps going, and as long as it keeps going, there's something you can always aim for. There's always stuff you can learn, there's always stuff you can improve. No matter what, nothing's ever perfect.
3 voices, 3 perspectives on one big week for the NHS. Peter Lane, 5 News, Bolton.